Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 Week 5 Spoilers. July 28th, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News fans. Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 has fans captivated. The drama is finally heating up as the connections between the couples are tested. Last week saw the arrival of several new contestants after a shocking rose ceremony. Keep reading to find out what happens on Episode 5. Warning, this article has spoilers for Season 10 of Bachelor in Paradise. Stop reading now if you don't want to know. Faith Martin arrives. One of Jerry Turner's final 3 women, Leslie Fima, was among the first golden contestants to arrive on the beach. She gave her rose to Kim Buke after Gary Livingston already received one from Natasha Hardy. The last episode ended with Faith Martin arriving on the beach via horse. Her appearance was teased in the trailer, but came as a surprise to the other contestants. According to Reality Steve spoilers, Faith goes on a date with Kathy Swartz. However, the season preview shows Faith getting hot and steamy with Kim Buke at some point. Bailey finds out the truth. Dale Moss and Kat Izzo's relationship was put to the test last week. Kat was upset when she found out that Dale kissed Allie Joe Hanks. Dale and Kat argued throughout the episode, but Kat ultimately gave him a rose. The trailer for this week hints that Bailey Brown and Jeremy Simon's connection is tested. The couple previously had issues when Bailey accepted a date with Andrew Spencer. While she was on the date, Jeremy had producers call Susie Evans so he could beg her to return to the beach. However, Susie declined, and Jeremy continued with Bailey as if nothing happened. But it seems Bailey is about to find out that Jeremy told Brian he would propose to Susie immediately if she returned to the show. Bailey breaks down in the trailer, crying that she just wants to go home. Fans think she found out the truth about Susie, but will it end her connection with Jeremy? Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 Week 5 Eliminations. The last rose ceremony ended in a shocker. Golden contestant April Kirkwood, 67, gave her rose to Jonathan Johnson, 28. The shocking moment left viewers questioning if there will be an age gap romance on Season 10. The spoilers Reality Steve posted at the start of the season aren't as detailed as previous seasons. They don't always follow the episodes as they air on TV. However, he shared who gets roses and who goes home on the next rose ceremony that airs either on Monday, July 28th or Monday, April 4th. According to his sources, many of the couples remain the same for the next rose ceremony. The men are handing out the roses. Spencer gives his to Jess, Dale gives his to Kat, Jeremy gives his to Bailey, and Brian gives his to Parisa. The spoilers also tease a few new pairings. Andrew gives his rose to Alex, Jonathan gives his to Leah, and Sean gives his to new arrival Alicia. As for the golden contestants, Keith gives his rose to Kathy, Kim gives his to Faith, and Gary gives his to Leslie. Jill, Natasha, Nancy, and April are the next eliminations. It may be the last rose ceremony of the season. Stay tuned to find out what happens after that.
Season 10 Week 5 Spoilers. A shocking return, a tearful goodbye, and a paradise proposal? The calm before the storm. The waves hit Playa Escondida like whispers of old drama, gentle reminders that nothing ever stays calm in paradise for long. It was Week 5 of Bachelor in Paradise Season 10, and the beach was deceptively quiet as the sun rose over the horizon. Little did the remaining contestants know, a storm was brewing, and not just overhead. By now, the original couples had started to look, well, comfortable. Too comfortable. Kat and Dale had just survived their explosive fight in Week 4. Jeremy and Bailey were still the villains of the beach, and fan favorite Lila was torn between 2 hearts. Marco, the sweet southern charmer, and Seth, the brooding late arrival who somehow knew how to quote poetry and look hot doing it. But all of that would soon be flipped upside down, starting with a surprise that no one saw coming. The return that shook paradise. The morning began like any other, mimosa-fueled debriefs, couples whispering under palapas, and Lila journalizing in a swinging hammock like she was the main character in a rom-com. But then, the producers called everyone to the beach for a special announcement. Host Jesse Palmer strolled in wearing his signature beachy linen look and a grin that said, "I know something you don't." Paradise, he began, pausing for dramatic effect, is about to get a lot more interesting.
Please welcome back someone who isn't finished with their journey. Gasps rippled through the group. And then she walked in. Rachel Recchia. Yes, former Bachelorette Rachel Recchia, back on the beach like she never left. Tan, glowing, and in a strappy red sundress that made jaws drop, Rachel looked like a woman on a mission. "Paradise owes me answers," she said, her voice calm but intense, "and maybe one last shot at love." Bailey's empire cracks. While Rachel's return sent shockwaves through Paradise, no one felt the tension more than Bailey. She had history with Rachel, not from the show, but from a few cryptic TikToks that hinted at overlapping dating timelines. Jeremy looked visibly shaken too, and not just because of the Rachel situation. The pressure cooker that was his relationship with Bailey had been reaching a boil for days. Bailey, who had ruled Paradise with a manipulative charm and flawlessly curated bikini wardrobe, finally lost her cool. "I don't care if she's a bachelorette or the Queen of England," Bailey hissed to a producer off camera. "She's not messing up my game." But the damage was already done. Rachel's presence sparked conversations, real ones. Jeremy confessed to Rachel that he and Bailey had moved fast, maybe too fast. And Bailey, she caught wind of their convo and did what Bailey does best. She performed. Cue the waterworks, the fake cries, the "I've never been this disrespected" soundbite that will surely be replayed in promos forever. By the end of the day, Bailey had turned the beach against her, and Rachel, she was getting closer to Jeremy by the minute. A breakup, a breakdown, and a beach fire. Elsewhere on the beach, Lila finally confronted her tangled feelings. Sitting between Seth and Marco by a beach bonfire, she delivered what might have been the most honest confessional of the season. "I feel like I'm choosing between safety and spark," she whispered, "and I don't know which one I'll regret losing more." But before she could make her decision, Seth took matters into his own hands. In an emotional speech straight out of the Notebook, he told her, "I'm not here to be your second choice. I'd rather leave than compete for love." And with that, he left, just walked up the beach, gave her a kiss on the cheek, and disappeared into the night. Lila was left in tears, Marco looked stunned, and Twitter imploded. "Seth is the main character. I don't make the rules." He left. I'm crying real tears. Justice for Marco, though. One couple fractured, another broken. And it was only Monday. Date card mayhem. The next day, a new date card arrived, and surprisingly, it was for Rachel. She picked Jeremy. Bailey did not take this well. In true Bachelor Nation villain fashion, Bailey grabbed a bottle of rosé and threw herself a pity party that doubled as a full-blown breakdown. Sitting on a swing and narrating her own heartbreak in third person, she told a crab, yes, a crab, she always gets the guy, but not this time. But this time, she didn't. Rachel and Jeremy's date was magic, a private yacht, a sunset dinner, and some serious hand-holding. By the end of the night, Jeremy told producers, "I feel like I can breathe again," and Rachel, she sees me. Back at the beach, Bailey watched their return with stone-cold silence. The next morning, she packed her bags and left Paradise. Producers tried to stop her. Jesse Palmer gave her a speech. Even Dale tried to throw her a lifeline. But Bailey was done. Her last words? "Let them have their fake love story. I'm too real for this." A new arrival changes everything. Just when things started to settle, the Week 5 twist hit like a lightning bolt. A surprise arrival. And not just any contestant. Tyler Norris, the beloved Bachelor Nation sweetheart with abs sculpted by angels and a reputation for being too good to be true. From the moment he walked in, heads turned, especially Kat's. Despite being in a solid place with Dale, Kat was immediately thrown off her game. Tyler asked her on a date, and she said yes without blinking. Dale, he tried to laugh it off. She's gotta explore, it's part of the process. But when Kat and Tyler returned hours later, laughing and touching and radiating chemistry, Dale knew. She wasn't his anymore. And she didn't want to be. The proposal nobody expected. By the end of the week, the beach felt less like paradise and more like a battlefield. Breakups, exits, shifting alliances, nothing was stable. But then, a moment of true, unscripted love. Marco, who had watched Lila cry, watched her struggle, and watched her almost walk away, pulled her aside near the ocean. "I don't want to be your backup plan," he softly. "I want to be your forever plan." Lila's eyes filled with tears, and then Marco got down on one knee. The cast screamed, producers swarmed, Jesse Palmer broke into a jog. Lila, Marco said, holding out a shell-shaped box with a diamond ring inside, will you be the love story I tell for the rest of my life? The entire beach held its breath. Lila looked stunned, but also happy, genuinely, tearfully happy. And then she said yes. The cliffhanger. Just when fans thought Week 5 had given everything, a Bachelorette return, a villain's exit, a surprise engagement, and Tyler scene-stealing arrival, Jesse Palmer dropped one final bombshell in the last 30 seconds of the episode. Standing in front of the group with a card in his hand, he said, "There's one more person joining Paradise next week, and for some of you, it changes everything." Fade to black. A silhouette walks up the beach. Viewers freeze-frame the footage, guessing who it might be. Is it Zach Shawcross? Is it Kaitlyn Bristow? Is it Grant Ellis from last season's Bachelor? All we know is next week will be even wilder. Why Week 5 may be the best week in Paradise history. Between Rachel's triumphant return, Bailey's dramatic exit, a surprise engagement, and Tyler's scene-stealing arrival, Week 5 of Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 has already become iconic. The internet's on fire, Reddit threads are exploding, Instagram accounts are reposting cryptic captions from the contestants like hieroglyphics to decode. And next week, let's just say, Paradise isn't done testing these couples. Not by a lot shot.